Yes, people. Welcome back to another stream on the channel. This is the Man United Newcastle preview, and I'm joined by a Newcastle fan. Let me just add him. How you doing, Louis?
Shit, I'm good. Yeah, I'm doing well.
Good. Obviously the big game. Talk to me. Yeah, your thoughts on the game.
Well, it's going to be a good game. I can guarantee that. Be the first year where we can really give you a good go. Because in the past we've been dreading Man United games. Like under Bruce, we had one game where we brought on a youngster and we scored and we won the game. That's the only time I can think about that we've actually done well, and that's. Yeah, I mean, all you've got to do. Well, last season, I was 2 seasons ago when you signed Ronaldo, and then, here comes Newcastle at Old Trafford. Ronaldo's first game, get absolutely slaughtered. We were crap on that day as well, so you deserved it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it because we've got our full strength squad back, and yeah, I'm quite confident, especially with the past two games that's just been played from us.
Yeah. So you have no injuries, right? Everyone's fit for the game.
Our starting 11 that we usually have, all of them are fit. Kraft's out with an injury from the Tranmere Cup game. Isak's out because we're getting injured in international break. Matt Ritchie's out with a calf injury. John Joe Shelby's out, but he's slowly coming back. I think that's it. So Eddie Howe said this morning.
Yeah, 100%. For me, it's going to be a tight game, man. For me, it's the midfield that is important for me, whether we're going to control it. Because, listen, you got Bruno Guimaraes. I mean, you probably have the better Bruno, because for me, when I got Bruno Fernandes this season, I've not been enjoying him. And a lot of United fans will be saying, drop Bruno Fernandes. But for me, I just think midfield battle is going to be obviously important. Obviously, I think for me, Casemiro starting because McTominay is suspended as usual because he got a fifth yellow card or ninth, I think. But yeah, man. But Newcastle this season, man. What do you make of them? Are you impressed?
It's been good. I mean, last season we didn't win a game until I think it was Norwich or Burnley, and that was for a penalty. So I mean, yeah, it wasn't very good last season when we had Cabbage Head at the club and everything was negative, it was toxic as hell. I went to the Leeds game and there was just protests everywhere you went. And now with the takeover, everything's nice and rosy, you know. I was at the first game of the season. Well, I've been to every game of the season apart from Palace. It's been very, very good. The Bournemouth game though, that's the one game this season where I've been frustrated that we haven't got anything from it. Because we're playing Bournemouth, they just sacked their manager Scott Parker and we didn't get anything from that, and we end up going behind from terrible defending. There is few concerns I have with the squad going into the Man United game. It depends what Eddie Howe picks, but when the past two games when he's released the team sheet, we've all been like, oh god, what's he doing, and then we end up stomping Brentford 5-1, we end up beating Fulham 4-1, and just trusting Howe because he knows what the squad's like. We don't. We're just looking at it from a neutral standpoint. But yeah, Newcastle this season are doing very well. I'm very happy with where we are right now. If it wasn't for VAR, we could be higher up in my opinion. But right now, I'm very happy where we are. I'm quite confident we're going to get Europe next at the end of the season. Yeah, so it'll be between News and whoever's below us. I think maybe West Ham. I know they haven't had a good start so far, but you know that they could pull it back. But between us and West Ham will determine Europe. But I'm happy where we are right now.
I'm loving this, man. Newcastle fans, you know, they're being confident now. As a neutral fan, I like it, man. They deserve it. You guys deserve it, obviously. With I don't want to say it's what you had before with Mike, actually, but now you've got proper structure now. You see the new owners now, yeah, man. But now we need to do the same for you guys. Protest, but thing is, when we buy big signings, that more shirt sales for The owners, but yeah,
Hmm.
that's we do that. Newcastle don't, but I think now
Well,
I think it's yeah. Go on.
with our shirt sponsor, well, we're getting rid of our shirt sponsor at the end of the season for 88 because they've been
Mm.
absolutely terrible.
Oh,
Also, we want to change our manufacturer as well because Castore is absolutely crap. I mean, I've had no problems with it, but people have been getting, when they're buying the home shirts, when they pre-ordered them, people are getting Rangers shirts through the post. They've been getting shirts without the sponsors on the front, which is kind of good because no one likes Fun 88.
oh yeah.
But yeah, and they've just released a fifth shirt as well, which is shite. To commemorate 130 years, which really it doesn't, but apparently it does. But yeah, it's no. We need to get rid of Castore. I prefer Adidas or Nike even. It's one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, when I look at your kit, so I don't think it's been a bit, it's been a disgrace, man. You know? I think it will get sorted soon. Obviously, the owners, listen, you guys got owners that would listen, that would actually listen to the fans, like
Yeah.
that's what Newcastle have. They've got proper owners now. So yeah, I think it's time to be excited as a Newcastle fan because I think top six is on for you guys. I really do think because Liverpool, obviously we've seen the situation.
Oh
In
yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah.
so Newcastle do have
Don't
a
talk to me
chance,
about
but
that club.
oh yeah. Well, your expectations
After the
for
2-1,
Newcastle, yeah, your expectations, Louis. Like, what's your minimum expectation? Like, do Newcastle have to get top six? Is that your expectations for them?
well, when the owners came in, they said they wouldn't want to do a Man City, buy all these super players, and then get themselves winning titles in like 2 or 3 seasons. We Our owners are smart and they know what they're doing. I mean, we've made good business in the transfer window. You know, we've signed Bruno Guimaraes for a bargain price. We've got Dan Burn, Nick Pope from Burnley. We've made some good signings, apart from Chris Wood, which is one of our worst signings that we've made since the owners came in. But um, this season, I'll take 10th. Not 10th, sorry, top 10 minimum has to be where we finish this season if we want to progress. But if we get Europe this season, I'll be happy, even if it's conference or something like that. Silverware wise, I mean, if we go for one of the tin pot trophies like the Carabao Cup, I mean, we've got Crystal Palace in the next tie, which, I mean, looking at it, it could be a good game. But um, yeah, minimum for me is top 10. But if we can get the Europe, I'll be happy. I'd like Europe because I've never seen Newcastle in the European League. I've never seen them in the Champions League, and yeah, I would love European football at the end of the season, and I trust Eddie Howe as well, and I trust these owners to get us what we want.
No, yeah, 100%. I do agree, and I do think Newcastle expectations this season should be top six. I want to see them actually in the European competition, like Europa League, or maybe in Conference League. But for me, I do think top six or top eight maybe should be expectation. But Eddie Howe, man, because I want to discuss about him because obviously Southgate and all this, but do you think? Well, for me, I don't think it will happen. But obviously, after Southgate hopefully leaves, Eddie Howe, do you think he would leave and take the England job if England do call him up?
If he well, what he said was when he came in, he
Yeah,
wanted to stay long term, and he signed a new contract. I think it was a few months ago. That's a long term contract. If the England job did come up, I think he would say no because he wants to build something at Newcastle. He wouldn't want to know. I don't know. Like, I'm going to mention Sunderland here. 'Cause I don't like them, but Alex Neil left Sunderland to go to Stoke for a payoff. Eddie Howe wouldn't do that. He'd stay long term, work with the players, and then move on from there. He like at Bournemouth, he's sticking with Bournemouth through every single league when he got them into the Prem. He's going to do the same with Newcastle. I could see that. This is Eddie Howe's squad. This is Steve Bruce's squad. This is a new Eddie Howe squad. And if he was to leave, I mean, all credit to helping us stay up from last season. But if he was to leave, if the England job came out, I don't think he would. I think Graham Potter possibly. If Steve Bruce wants another compensation payoff, he could take the job. I mean, hopefully not. But mainly for me, I think it would be Graham Potter who would take the job. I know he's just went to Chelsea, but I'd see Graham Potter taking it.
interesting, man, interesting. Because for him to leave Chelsea, listen, I would love that to happen. You know, him leaving Chelsea and go to England job, but isn't I do see that happening, but I just think that Eddie Howe would just stay at Newcastle because, as you said it before, he stayed at Bournemouth for quite a while now. So for me, I think he will stay for a while. But let me go through the comments. We got Money, hello boys. You all good? Yeah, I'm all good, man. I mean,
I'm good.
I would say I'm 50-50 for the game because for me, obviously, if it was at St James's Park, then for me it
Oh,
would be a
he gets
different game.
slaughtered.
Yeah, different game. But obviously, Old Trafford. I mean, I know people say, "Oh, but you guys almost got 1 point against Omonia," but for me, I think Newcastle have a terrible record at Old Trafford. So it is going to be a good game. Yeah.
When was the last time we won at Old Trafford?
Listen, I'm just happy that John Shelby's out because this guy plays at prime Iniesta, mate, when he plays off. So
He can create in the midfield. I mean, we've got Sean Longstaff. Yeah, Sean Longstaff. But I mean, he's homegrown. I mean, I would prefer Elliot Anderson, to be honest, over Sean Longstaff because I feel Elliot could provide more to the team. Longstaff, he slipped during the not the Bournemouth game, the Brentford game, and then if it wasn't for VAR, we could have lost that game. If it was for Longstaff, because he slipped for trying to retrieve the ball at Brentford. I prefer Willock in the midfield. If it's Joelinton, Guimaraes and Willock, that's a strong midfield for me. In January, we could invest in another midfielder. I know we've had eyes on like Tielemans and Maddison at Leicester.
you want McTominay?
I think there would be... No. You could have... We can... No. Unless you want Chris Wood.
I mean, I'd rather have him than Ronaldo, to be fair. Now, listen, the thing is with me and Ronaldo here, people say I've got an agenda. It's not an agenda, man. He's not a long term striker for me. I just want someone new and fresh. So I'm just I'm not in the mood for Ronaldo. But let me go through the comments. When he says personally, I don't think the owners will let Eddie Howe leave without a bumper compensation package. For this reason, Graham Potter won't be considered. Michael is Thomas Tuchel. He will love the challenge. Your thoughts?
I've read that Thomas Tuchel could be approached for the job. I'm either manager. I wouldn't mind, to be honest. They're both good managers. I mean, Chelsea, had a bad spell of games, and then they just sacked him. They didn't really give him the time. Graham Potter, he's been at Brighton for a number of seasons, and he's built that team, progressed that team to where it is now. Thomas Tuchel had Lampard's squad. I mean, he's built that from there. I mean, they were World Cup winners or something like that. I don't know. I don't follow Chelsea, but yeah. So either manager for me would be good for England. I mean, we've had international managers in the past manage England, and it's been all right. So I wouldn't mind Thomas Tuchel, to be honest.
No, 100%. For me, again, Thomas Tuchel is another manager that I do not rate highly for me. I just think it's tactically naive for me. But listen, England for me World Cup. I'm gonna save that for another show because I literally have no energy to talk about Southgate and all of this crap. But yeah, another comment from Marnie. I'm very intrigued as an Arsenal fan to know how season Joe will look and what you think of him this season, Louis.
Okay, Willock, he's a strange one because from his language on the pitch, his body language, he looks like he's not interested. He's like Gale, but he can bring good things to the team. I mean, like in the last game, he made some brilliant things from the midfield to help us get forward. I mean, he had a good run at the box a couple of times. If I look at, I could find some statistics if I could be bothered to, but nah, didn't bother. I've got FP Ref open, but anyway, Willock, I think you do well this season. I mean, last season, it was Steve Bruce. Steve Bruce, he got bruised. It was a negative effect that he had on him. We needed him from the season under Bruce. We needed to buy him and sign him. Once we did sign him, that would be all our budget gone because of the fat man at the top. But I think Willock will do well this season. I mean, we could have another backup midfielder. Because I don't trust Sean Longstaff. I seriously don't. If John Joe Shelby comes back, I know he's getting older, but if we had someone else there, like a Madison, a Tielemans, or someone in the midfield from another club that can, if we have another Brazilian and an all Brazilian midfield, that would be nice. But we'll see what happens. I'm happy with Willock how he's playing so far. Just get some goals really. If we can, like Guimaraes, he's been playing fantastically in the midfield in more of an attacking role going forward. If Willock can do the same and help, that would be great. So hopefully Willock can get some goals this season. I think he's been good though. I think he's been really good.
Yeah, 100%. They got Anderson Town Fan TV. I think Man United went to. I mean, for me, clean sheet. I don't think we're keeping a clean sheet against Newcastle.
No.
We will leak. I think if it's Lindelof and Martinez, we'll probably concede. But either Varane Martinez. If it's Varane Martinez, I still think we'll concede because something told me that I think Bruno Guimaraes is gonna have a long strike goal. I don't know, man. I don't know.
But I mean, against Brentford, Guimaraes just okay, we concede the penalty, and then I think 2 minutes later, Guimaraes just had a free run from the halfway line into the box and scored. I mean, Brentford were awful. I mean, Guimaraes is a creator. He can tip balls over the top of you. He can, especially when we played Fulham, that beautiful pass to Almiron, who just then hit with his left into the net was just beautiful, man. Goal of the month or goal of the season, because that was just spectacular. But yeah. I've just seen a comment.
He's gonna bring a neutral fan perspective. He's supposed to ask him, but I want to get his neutral. I think he wants to talk to you as well. I mean, he's been waiting for it. And it's Marnie. How you doing, man?
Yeah, good. Listen, Arist, I want to say thank you for bringing me in. I mean, I wasn't expecting to come on. I know that I was just happy to contribute in the chat because I know that it's an MU, NUFC sort of thing. I didn't want to impose, but if you wanted me to come on, I mean, I'm happy to. But I also won't try to dominate the conversation too much. Yeah.
That's fine.
But Marnie, how do you see this game going? Like, obviously, it's a big game. It's a big game for Newcastle and both Man United. So how do you see this game going?
It is a big game, and I'm actually interested to talk a little bit with Louis a little bit about the tactics that Eddie Howe has used, because obviously it's amazing the transformation that Newcastle have gone through. These last two games have seen them score 9 goals and have 2 big wins, whereas in the lead up to that they weren't even able to buy a win. It was basically a case of them being the draw specialists, if you will. Yeah. So I wanted to take a look at the tactics really, but for some reason my browser window is just frozen, but I can still speak on StreamYard and hear you boys. So Louis, I just want to get your perspective. What would you say has been the biggest tactical difference between the team of the last 2 game weeks and the teams beforehand? What exactly has Eddie Howe done differently to suddenly turn you lot into goal machines?
I think Almiron, he's gained a lot more confidence going forward than in previous seasons. I mean, we've seen under Bruce that he wasn't very confident. He also needs to work on his right foot, because most of the time he's not cutting back on his right. He's always shooting with his left, passing with his left. He's not really using his right foot much. Guimaraes has added a lot more going forward. I mean, we can play him more forward. John Joe Shelvey can then create for Guimaraes go forward if he's in the squad. But the chemistry between Joe Linton, a midfield, just so physical in that midfield, and he's done excellently. Eddie Howe just shifting him from that striking role where he didn't really score much to now putting him in that midfield. It's really helped him progress as a player. Addition of Maxi's got pace on the left and the right hand side. He can drive balls into the box, and hopefully Callum Wilson can be there. In the future, if we see Isak coming in, especially, we play a 4-3-3 usually. I can see either Callum and Isak working together as a striking partner, maybe. If Eddie can somehow magic that together, I don't know. But Maxi is with his pace and he's also passing more, which is important, because in previous seasons he was just ball hogging. He was just trying to take on too many players. He wasn't really passing the ball off. But now he's starting to distribute the ball more better. The addition of a new goalkeeper in Nick Pope, who's been absolutely fantastic. We've been more attacking compared to Bruce, where we just give the ball to Maxi and hope for the best. Last season we had a mixture of Bruce's and Howe's squad, So we had like the cells. Shaw wasn't really, cutting it much, but now he's improved as a player. We signed Matt Target, who was fantastic. We signed the likes of Botman, who is very physical in defence. He helps make them recovery runs. Have been fantastic. The one issue I have in previous games has been with Dan Burn. He's not a left back, and he's been played in that left back role. Now, if he was to play Man United in that left back role, I wouldn't be comfortable because he's not really getting back to make those recovery runs very well. He's good going forward and putting. He's very tall, so in the box he can get headers. He nearly had a goal in the Brentford game, but I would like to see him, go back to his natural position. But so far, in the past 2 games, really, we've been goal machines. We've been going forward well. We've been taking the press as well. The press from Almiron has been especially significant for us because if you've seen the Brentford game, the goalkeeper had a few opportunities. Murphy ran from the halfway line to the box to where, I don't know what Brentford's goalkeeper's called, but ran up the goalkeeper. Raya, that's it. He passed it off. Murphy's there. Or was it Callum? I know it was Callum, sorry. Callum made that run from the halfway line up to the goalkeeper, took the ball off him, little pass to Murphy, and he's in. Especially with Almiron, he started, was just looking at where the goalkeeper was going to play the ball. He then just made that sprint and run up to the goalkeeper. He passed it off, and then the defender came forward. Almiron, being so smart that he is, just took the ball off him, passed the goalkeeper, in we go. I mean, the press has been very significant for us. We're going forward more compared to last season where we were quite cautious. Our defence wasn't very good. But this season, we've only lost 1 game as well, especially, and that's important. Because that game against Liverpool, in my opinion, if it wasn't for the referee, we could have had a point from there. Because VAR has been more kind to us ever since the Palace game, because the Palace game, that goal should have stood, but the referee didn't see all the angles. Now Howard Rebb's coming in Christmas. He's going to change things up. He's going to change referees up and all that. Hopefully, I'm just going off what I've heard. But Crystal,
United fans should know him well.
Oh yeah, because I mean, you get everything down Man United, don't you? You get penalties, you get free kicks.
Why did you give us the breath, come on? What's going on? What's going on here? That's the dodgy business. Why are you giving us the breath?
Why did he decide to go to Man United when he knew he went to first team football? He just gets placed on the bench. I mean,
exactly.
We've got. I know, but we then got Karius as a backup now, who had that one stumble in the Champions League game, and he's sat on the bench. He hasn't even started. I mean, I think he would start in November when we play Palace in the Cup. I think he would have a game.
Yeah.
Cups.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And it's interesting as well, Louis, to see that you mentioned you've got the 4-3-3. Manchester City also like to play the 4-3-3, and I'm reminded of that amazing 3-3 draw at St James's Park, where St Maximin, Wilson, you ran them ragged and you got behind their defence and sort of played beautifully. And it's so amazing to see your attacking strength. One could very easily say that with Almiron, Wilson, and now Jacob Murphy being your first 3 strikers, and of course you've got St Maximin coming back, and maybe Almiron to an extent. You guys really do have a good attacking arsenal, and even in the midfield, it seems to be the same 3 that have started the last 3 games: Sean Longstaff, Bruno Guimaraes, and of course our former gunner Joe Willock. So, I mean, the only issues that I might have, you mentioned that currently Dan Burn is playing at left back. You mentioned that he's tall and wins a lot of headers. I suppose he really would be useful as more of a centre back than really a wing back, because obviously when you buy Matt Target, who I rate very highly, I thought he was really good at Aston Villa, and Steven Gerrard was really, hasty and rather stupid, in my opinion, in selling him in favour of Lucas Digne from Liverpool. So you certainly have the makings of a really good quality team going forward. And I just think that maybe if you were to strengthen maybe a little bit more in the midfield, for example, provide some competition for Willock, for example, who I don't know how many goals he scored this season. I mean, he contributes a great deal on the pitch, but I don't know how good he is as a goal scorer. And ironically, when he joined you on loan from Arsenal, I believe he scored about 6 goals in 7 or 8 games to help you stay in the Premiership. So maybe some competition will be required in midfield, perhaps. But certainly, you guys do look as if you can go a little bit further. Maybe a little bit more in terms of, you're coming up against a United team which specialises in Fergie time. And of course, as I speak, they also had that terrific reputation-saving goal against the team from Cyprus. So it's not going to be a very easy game, but maybe with a little bit more work over the time, you could challenge. But I think, as you've said, it's still early days for you.
I think this season is the last time we beat Man United at Old Trafford was December 2013. That's how long ago it was. And this season is the one chance where we can have hope and confidence going into the game, and we can actually challenge them. In past seasons under Bruce, Pardew, McLaren, we've just been like, oh, it's Man United. Oh God, we're going to get slaughtered here. Because we had no confidence in the squad. Everyone looked lazy. They weren't playing for the manager. And now, with the new owners, the funding, the revenue coming in, the new players who have came in and done magnificently, Trippier especially, with the free kicks he took last season to get us important goals, like especially this season as well, Man City, when he got, beautiful, man. And, we can give them a good game this season. I would love 3 points against Man United. I mean, you can ask any Newcastle fan and they say, they'd bite your hand off for 3 points against Man United, because we hate them so much because of the rivalry and all that. But
there's no rivalry, mate. No, Louis, there's no rivalry. But I do understand the 3 points.
All right,
it's fine, man. It's fine.
So, I would saying that I would be happy with a point. Honestly, I'd be happy with a point as long as the performance was there and we played well.
3 points. No, I understand, but for me, defensively, I think we've been a bit. Since the Manchester Derby, I think with defense.
You're being ropey.
Yeah. But for me, it's the midfield who Tenag plays. I got it right yesterday. Before the game, I said on the preview, I think on Hano's channel, I said Tenag needs to play Casemiro, Fred, and Bruno. And now he did it against some Omonia, whatever, a virus name team. And now for Newcastle, Tenag has to play. For me, what I'll do is, obviously, Casemiro starts because McTominay is surrendered. Next to him, Ericsson. Actually, no. Casemiro, Fred, and Ericsson as number 10. Because Bruno, I've had enough of. Sorry, Bruno Fernandes, not Bruno Guimaraes. Bruno Fernandes, I've had enough. Like, literally, I think all United fan base, apart from those, that are crazy.
Hasn't he signed a new long-term deal?
Yeah, he has. Last season, he signed a new contract, 2027. I think it's 300 grand a week, I think. So, yeah.
And our Bruno's also been offered a new contract as well today. And you better sign it.
No, you better come to United. But they got all this.
Nope.
But yeah, for me, defense-wise, it should be for us the same back four that we play against the big team, like Dalot, Martinez, Varane. Left back is interesting because Molassi's been a bit shaky now, but Luke Shaw, whenever he stepped in, he's been alright. But left back, I'm gonna go with Luke Shaw, because I think with the strength that he has, I think we need Luke Shaw, his defensive capabilities, because St. Maximin is just we need someone there. There's someone there.
Hagrid from Harry Potter.
Oh yeah. But obviously attacking wise for us, I think Martial should be fit, but Tenag did say that he's training, so I don't know about him. If we start Ronaldo, then I think we're gonna draw 1-1. If I'm being honest, but for me, score predictions.
Do you have faith in Ronaldo?
I have zero faith in Ronaldo, by the way. I said it before. I want him gone in January, mate. I want him gone in January. So hopefully Newcastle, the money that you guys have, you guys can get me if you
No,
want.
no, no. We
Listen,
can do a
listen,
player swap.
RS, listen, here's the thing. You need to be careful what you wish for because you might just get it. Because bear in mind, Anthony Martial is out injured, and of course, Ronaldo did score against Everton. I think it's only a matter of time before he gets a little bit more confidence back. And if Ronaldo were to go in January and Martial would still not be quite fit, I mean, who would you
I mean, we can get
in his
Ivan
place?
Toney money. Don't you think we can get Ivan Toney?
That's a good point.
Yeah, but
I mean,
the
it just seems a little bit harsh to sort of cast him aside in January because I mean, which club would take him? He's already played in Europe.
Just about Newcastle. No. Not the reputation. I can give you a starting 11 for Newcastle, but it could be completely different on Sunday. It'll be 4-3-3. It'll be Nick Pope in goal. He's been absolutely fantastic. I mean, I think he's number 1 in stats, some kind of stats this season. I think saves and all that. I don't know. Or goals conceded. I think he's been the fewer goals conceded. And then the back four would be Target, Botman, Shaw, and Trippier. Midfield, we'll go with Joe Linton. Bruno Guimaraes has to be in that squad on Sunday, and Joe Willock, and then Maxi on the left, Almer on the right, and then Wilson up front.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good lineup, man. For me, I think I said it before. I'm gonna repeat again. The midfield battle for me. Good, best of luck to United, man, because it's gonna be hard for us because Bruno Guimaraes, listen, I'm not Arsenal fans, wanted him and then they didn't get him. But for me, it's gonna be hard, man, because obviously I've seen it stats. Casemiro has made the most. He has ball recoveries and all that. So Casemiro has to be. He has to be on his best game Sunday. Everyone has to turn up for us, man. We need the 3 points, man. It's massive. We need 3 points.
So do we.
Yeah, so did Newcastle, but it's going to be interesting, man. For me, if we concede in the first 10 minutes, then it's not looking good for us because we concede very fast. Like we conceded fast against Everton. So for me, we just have to stop doing that. But Marnie, man, what's your score prediction for this game?
Well, this is going to be a tough one. I mean, obviously, United are still, are going through a rather stuttering phase, but they're getting some wins in, and Newcastle will have a pretty tough fight. I think, as I said, attacking-wise, they look very, very sharp indeed. So, your defence, Oris, could be well in for a tough afternoon. I think both Martinez and Varane, if he's starting. I think he came on against Everton, so he should be fit to start against Newcastle, yeah?
Yeah.
So he will certainly have a big game to play. I would like to see Luke Shaw come back into the midfield because I don't have any faith in Malacia to handle that. Not midfield, I mean left back.
Yeah, left back, yeah.
Freudian slip. I think I'm speaking too quickly again. So if he comes into the left back position, he will provide a little bit of solidity. And of course, I think you will need to counter Newcastle's 4-3-3 with the 4-3-3 of your own. But knowing Ten Hag as well as I do, he'll stick with his 4-2-3-1, even if it potentially means seeing the team get ripped apart again. Although if Casemiro and Eriksen start, maybe that'll hold them in place. I'm still going for a 2-1 win for Manchester United because I just think, the defence could potentially be where Newcastle might be a little bit weak, although Botman has looked impressive, I think. And if Burn were to play at left back instead of Matt Target, then that could also be a bit of a weak point. Although Burn has done okay, I still rate Matt Target a lot more highly. So it'll be, I think, just the experience that you guys have, Orist, will probably see you through, but it will be a tight game. 2-1 to United.
Hopefully. Huddersfield Town fans.
Which United?
Yeah.
2-1 to the Red Devils. Sorry, Magpies.
Marnie Ronaldo doesn't look happy at United, so it wouldn't be unfair for him to go in January. Yeah, 100%. To be fair, when people say that, I think of, is it because he's still affected by his baby son that died? or is there family issues, is there personal issues? But for me, when I look at this, Ronaldo, for me, whenever I know celebration that he does, the suit celebration, but whenever he scored this season, yeah, he hasn't done that. And for me, he's just been a bit low. Maybe it was personal issues, but for me, I'll let him go in January. We need to get Ivan Tony. For me, that's a must. But I won't get him. But what if I was part of the board recruitment? I would go get Ivan Tony, and then obviously for next summer we can get Bruno Gomes because if we offer him that big money, he's coming to us, dude.
Yeah, we are gonna say no. We are gonna say no.
How about this? 80 million plus McTominay.
Nah. You're looking higher than
Even
that.
Newcastle fans don't even rate McTominay, but yeah, I think. What else? I'm not forgetting any topics. Yeah, but no, Man
I'll
United
give you a
now.
score prediction.
Yeah, go on.
My gut says 3-1 to Newcastle, but I'm going to go 2-2.
Oi, 3-1 Newcastle. Man, yeah, I'm never doing any streams ever again. But nah, joking. But before we wrap up, just to discuss shortly about Man United this season. Louis,
Where
I'll
to
start off
start?
with you. Yeah, I'll start off with you. Obviously, the first two games losing to Brighton and Brentford. After that, changed it. But overall, in your opinion, what's your thoughts on Man United this season? Have you been impressed the way we've made the reaction, or what do you think?
At the start, it was terrible. I mean, I really enjoyed the Brentford game. I had a good laugh at that. It's okay. It's a new manager. He wants to try different things. Have faith, trust the process. Like with Eddie Howe, with him coming in. Once our takeover took place, we were wanting better managers than Eddie Howe. We wanted better standards. So like you're talking your Mourinho's, Pochettinos, you're talking stuff like that. But we got Eddie Howe in, and he's doing very well for us. We've got Eric Ten Hag. He's done it magnificently. His former club, building that from scratch to where it is now. I mean, Man United, they haven't really. Well, the last trophy they won, I think it was an FA Cup. That was a few years ago now. I mean, they need, with the owners they have. I mean, they've invested that much money into the club. Well, I say that, but the players haven't been far good enough. I mean, the last good side Man United had, I'm going to be saying it, is Alex Ferguson, and I don't see this as a good Man United side. They've now started to slowly pick it up now, going into into the World Cup break and all that. But I think United will be up there this season. They'll be I say up there. I say top 6, of course, but I think you'll get Europe again this season. I don't see you getting into the Champions League, I'm afraid. But that's from me.
Interesting. Marley, in your perspective, what's your thoughts on Man United this season? What do you make of them?
Like I said, I mean, Louis pretty much hit the nail on the head by saying that the last great Manchester United team was in the days of Ferguson. I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that, but that isn't an unfair observation to make at all. And obviously, with the whole Solskjaer experiment promising so much but ending up in tears, and Rangnick being a bit of a damp squib, Ten Hag has sort of come in and tried to start a process, if you will. I hate using that word; it's ridiculous. But,
Yeah.
you can see, you can see though that he, after a few stumbles, he does have the team, at least showing some signs of being able to come together and play for him. And of course, after the 2 defeats that you had, which were very disappointing, he's rung in some changes, and you've only lost once in the last 7 games with 6 wins in between. And of course, you beat our Arsenal team with Ten Hag outsmarting Arteta. So there is obviously a great deal to like about United going forward, and I think you can only get better. However, you are going to have to iron out a few chinks in your armor. This season, believe it or not, Orest, I actually have you definitely finishing in the top 4, maybe even 3rd, because I just think that you're sort of that team which is going under the radar. Yeah, people are saying this isn't the same Manchester United as before, and there are a lot of issues that they have that you boys have. But in this, having said that, you're still picking up a few wins here and there, and you've also got the ability to manage games a little bit better. I would say, in many ways, that if you're able to pick up those wins in sort of secretly and build yourself up towards the business end of the season, you could be in a dominant position. And a lot of people might wonder, wait a minute, we weren't expecting very much from this team, and now that here they are, and they might actually go a little bit forward. I mean, everyone's bigging up Arsenal right now. We have to see where this goes, and I know we have to see where things go with United, obviously. But you boys are a little bit like Arsenal without the fanfare, and also with a slightly inferior record, but you are picking up wins. So I actually think that if once you get the momentum, you will start climbing up, and you will be there or thereabouts at the business end of the season. I have you finishing third just because of the combined experience that your team has, especially with Casemiro and Eriksen coming in. That's more experience added right there. I think the know-how that you have will see you through.
Yeah, I mean, Hardy, I don't know, he's on that YouTube account and he puts a comment saying, Louis, has anyone told you look like James Garner? Like, Hardy doesn't even look like him, man. Come on, man. Doesn't even look like James Garner.
I've had Arthur Christmas, if you watched that movie.
But no, Hardy, I do understand, but big up to yourself. I mean, obviously, I'll see you at Hardy today anyways, but yeah, big up to you.
I hope Hardy appreciated the comment I just made. As a United fan himself.
Yeah. Hashim says 1-1 draw, my prediction. Yeah, let's hope not. Let's hope not, because I am not taking a draw, mate. I want 3 points, no excuses. So, yeah.
Did you finish?
Yeah. Oh, no.
But yeah, we're gonna wrap up now. Louis, where people can find you.
Okay. You can find me Instagram, Twitter, Instagram, Twitter mainly at LouisVon05. You can check out my YouTube. It's just Louis Von. Just search it up and it comes up. I majority do wrestling content, but I dawdle in a bit of Newcastle because I like doing Newcastle stuff. You can find me on loads of Newcastle channels, like doing interviews after the games, PD Proudlock and all that. But yeah, that's my socials really, at LouisVon05 or just Louis Von on YouTube.
Myself, Money, obviously. I don't know if you're going to be here at 8 o'clock, but shout out the channel.
Hey, listen, I told you I'll make it. No ifs, no excuses. So I will be here. But until then, if anyone wants to come and get in touch with me, it is. Just check me out on Twitter, Thangadaraya1981. That's my surname and my year of birth. Instagram, you can connect with me at Manny Thangadaraya 1981. And on YouTube, you can find me on a few other channels. Obviously, first of all, let me just big up Oris Talks Football. Excellent content, great debates and good discussions, terrific panels every time. Some really good young people who know their football and enjoy talking about football. Happy to be a part of the panel. Also, you can find me on Del Boy Gunner TV, S Feetly TV, Coach's Corner with Hanno Trollip, King's Football Show, the Football Thought Podcast with Nipun Sharma, Tony Claude Gunner TV. You can also find me as a neutral fan on many other channels. Shout out to the Bournemouth fan channel, Up the Cherries in All Departments with Craig Beasley and Matthew and Sam Harrison, 3 guys who get together to produce some terrific content for their club, terrific interviews, terrific shows, and some really good content. Do please check that out. Also, Chelsea Dan, he also has me on as more of a neutral. I love getting into debates with him and a few other fans. It's nice to be more of a neutral, realist fan, so to speak. And I'm just happy to go on other streams on other channels on YouTube and say what I want to say. I feel happy to be on, and all I can say is, listen, I wasn't expecting to come on, but Oris, thank you so much for bringing me on. Louis, wonderful to see you, mate, and I'll hopefully see you this evening. If not, good luck for the weekend. And although I predicted a tight Newcastle defeat, I will say up the tune, and I hope you do well. Yeah? Peace, everyone, and I'm out.
Big up, Money. Obviously, it's always nice to bring a neutral fan in here as to go into perspective for both clubs. So, no worries, man, no worries, but... Yeah, guys, before I play the outro, make sure you guys do tune in at 8 p.m. tonight. Game Week 11 preview, discussing The big games: City, Liverpool. Haaland getting a hat trick on Sunday against Liverpool, so make sure you tune into that. But yeah, man, big up everyone for joining. Big up Louis as well. Big up Barney. Make sure you guys smash the likes. Hopefully, I get the 3 points, but if not, then whatever. It is what it is, but we move on. But what I have to say is Newcastle losing.
No, we're not.